guys, welcome to EduTap. I'm your mentor Veer and I welcome you all in the lecture 4 of our banking awareness series. And in today's lecture, we're going to discuss the different types of bank accounts. So without wasting any time, let's get started. But before starting our today's session, guys, if you are new here, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can find the daily updated videos of the courses that we are offering. Moreover, if you want to check out the notification of our live session along with the free material that we are providing, you can check out our Telegram group, the link of which you can find in the description box. So guys, now it's time to start the session of the day. So guys, as I told you that today we're going to discuss the different types of bank account. But before discussing about the types, we need to understand what is a bank account. So before starting the meaning of bank account, let me give you a small example so that you can relate the bank account in a much easier way. Guys, in the movies of 90s and 80s, you might have seen some Thakur coming out from his house and calling someone as a munshi and ask him to make this much of payment or that much of payment to this person, but record that in some khata. Khata means an account. So what munshi will do? Munshi will take out a bulk of files and he start turning those pages and record a transaction. So what those transactions are and what that file is or what that khata is, that khata is actually an account in which you are recording your financial transactions that I am providing Ram some money or Mohan some money, so I will record that in some khata. So similarly guys, bank account is nothing but a record of financial transactions by the bank on behalf of you. So suppose you are coming and depositing some money in the bank, so bank will record that financial transaction in your account. Similarly, if you have withdrawn some amount, so accordingly bank will note that down, and by the end of the month that will be adjusted. Okay, it is not like you are depositing 5,000 money, so bank is not keeping that 5,000 money in a separate vault. It is just recording that in a book or in an automatic form which is known as bank account. Oh, sorry guys. So this is the meaning of bank account. Bank account basically means the recording of financial transactions by bank in regard to the individual or its customer. Okay, this is the simple meaning of bank account. I hope this is clear to you. Now we will move on to the types of bank accounts. So guys, we will start with our first type of bank account, which is current accounts. Guys, current account. Let me tell you what this account is for and what are the features of this particular account. Guys, you might be know that there are a lot of pupils or small businessmen who need to put a lot of money. Let us take an example of a petrol pump. A lot of money is collected by the end of the day, and what the business or the petrol pump owner will do, he will deposit that money into the bank, and next day similarly he might need to call a truck of petrol and he might have to withdraw that. So every day a lot of transaction is going on. So for that purpose, the bank has came up with a type of account which is known as current account. When you need to do multiple transactions in a day, there is an option which is current account. So from this current account you can deposit unlimited amount, you can withdraw unlimited amount. Withdraw means whatever you have deposited, only that you can withdraw. Then there are other features like overdraft facility is also available, unlimited free cash withdrawal is available, low account maintenance or minimum account that you need to pay for maintaining that current account, then free monthly installments. So these are the different facilities. So these are the advantages. No transaction cost or minimum transaction cost, or unlimited number of transactions you can do in a day also. So all these are advantages, but is there any disadvantage regarding that account? Yes, there is a disadvantage, and the disadvantage is, guys, that no interest is paid on current account. You will not be paid any of the interest, and due to which this account is only suitable for the business owners who want to do unlimited number of or multiple number of transactions in a day. Okay, because of that, guys, bank will not be able to arrive that this is the average minimum balance of the month. That's why interest is not provided. Okay, maybe on a day there is 10 lakh, maybe next day it is only 1,000. So bank will not be able to analyze or maintain the monthly average balance, and here they will not be able to provide you the interest. So guys, I hope now you have understood the current account. It is basically suitable for the business, shopkeepers, or who want to do multiple transactions in a day. There is unlimited number of deposit and withdrawals, there is overdraft facilities, and these are the multiple benefits which you can refer. Okay, so guys, this is about the current account. Now moving on to the next type of account, which is mostly known to us, which is a saving account. Everyone knows about the saving account because everyone wants to keep their money safe. But what is the meaning of saving? So guys, in the saving account, there is a minimum rate of interest which you earn. When you compare it with the current account, there was no interest which you were earning, but in the saving account, there is a minimum rate of interest. Moreover, guys, this rate of interest varies from bank to bank as well as even the amount you have deposited. Many banks, if you allows a higher interest rate, suppose if you have deposited more than 1 lakh rupees in a Kotak Bank account and maintain that, so Kotak Bank account offers you, I think, more than 4% interest rate. It is not a fixed criteria. It is basically depends on bank to bank. But yeah, every saving bank account has a interest rate associated with it. Okay, this is the difference between current account and saving account. Now the next point of difference between current account and the saving account is that the number of transactions you can make in a day or in a month is fixed. Okay, in the current account you can do unlimited number of transactions in a month, whereas in the saving account it is not fixed. When I'm saying it is not fixed, so there is a doubt that might come in your mind, sir, I can make an unlimited number of transactions. Yeah, but there will be a transaction cost. Okay, because of this, we can say that only a fixed number of transactions in a month are free from the saving account. Okay, which is different from the current account. Then coming to the next point of difference, which that there are multiple types of saving accounts which are being offered by the respective banks. They can offer different saving products basically on the basis of age. Like they can provide saving bank account for the children as well as for the senior citizens, and mostly for the senior citizens they offer a higher interest rate. Okay, so these are the different type of saving accounts that are being provided by the respective banks, keeping in mind the product, age, as well as the purpose of holding the saving account. Okay, so this is the third point of saving account. Now there is one more advantage of having a saving bank account, which is cross product benefits. What do you mean by cross product benefits? Cross product benefit means, guys, suppose if you have a bank account, suppose in the SBI, and SBI is also offering a Demat account or some insurance products, basically providing some other financial services. So what SBI will do, if you have a saving bank account from in our bank, so we will provide you this much of discount or this much of facility if you avail some other financial services. So this is known as cross product benefit, and it is available only on the saving bank account. So guys, till now what we have done, we have learned what do you mean by current account, and also we have tried to compare it with the saving account. And saving account is basically that provides you minimum saving through some interest. Okay, and these are the additional features of a saving bank account. So guys, we have discussed current as well as saving. Now we will move on to the next type of bank account. So this is salary account. This is everyone's favorite, and there are minimum features that you need to remember. Basically guys, salary account is being opened due to a tie-up between your employer and the bank. So because of the tie-up between the employer and the bank, this account is to be opened and your salary is credited into this particular account. So opened as per the tie-up between your employer and the bank. And the next feature is employees can pick up their type of salary account based on the feature they want. So there are different features that are being provided, but it actually depends if the employer wants to provide the, basically it depends on the employee and what are the features available to the employee in terms of the features that are being provided by the bank. Okay, so this is not a generalized point, we cannot exactly say this, because many a times it is not necessary that there always be a tie-up. Employer may ask your own account which you want to make it as a salary account. Okay, but yeah, generally salary account is different and it is basically due to the tie-up between the employer and the bank. And one more feature regarding the salary account is that there is no requirement of monthly average balance. You do not need to maintain a minimum monthly average. So suppose if you keep zero money in your salary account, so there will be no penalty. Okay, zero penalty. Yeah guys, one more thing, that like we have discussed that there will be different type of saving accounts. So there are zero balance saving accounts as well as there are saving accounts in which you need to maintain some minimum balance. Okay, that I already discussed, that on the type of product, on the type of age, there are different type of saving accounts that are being provided. This I came to recall because of this salary account, because in this account you do not need to maintain a minimum balance. This is also a point of difference between saving and the salary account. Though there is an option of zero saving balance account, yeah, but it always be a zero minimum balance account. Okay, so these are the three types of accounts that we have discussed. Now we'll move on to the fourth one, fixed deposit. Guys, fixed deposit, as the word say, fixed. So in this account, what you need to do, you need to keep aside a certain amount of lump sum money. Suppose you are keeping amount of 10,000 in a bank, and if you have opened a fixed account, you need to deposit this money at the time of opening, and only at the time of maturity you can withdraw this. Premature withdrawal will attract some penalty. Penalty could be in terms of lesser interest rate or some charges. Okay, so this is a fixed deposit account. Fixed deposit earns a fixed rate of interest for keeping a certain sum of money. Suppose guys, you have deposited money for 10 years. In the saving account, the saving rate might go up and down, but in the fixed deposit, the interest rate remain fixed. Okay, this is one advantage of having fixed deposit in comparison to the saving bank account. Saving bank account interest rate might go up or down, but in the fixed deposit, the interest rate remain fixed. Okay, then the maturity period. Again, important question can be asked, that what will be the maturity period of an FD? It varies from 7 days to 10 years. So for at least 7 days you need to maintain an FD, and you can have a FD for a maximum period of 10 years. Then the next point is, you cannot withdraw money from an FD before maturity. That means I already explained that point, which is the premature withdrawal is not allowed. But guys, nowadays many of the banks are offering premature withdrawal, but what they are doing, they are providing lesser interest rate. Okay, so this is another, we can say, type of a penalty that is being charged by the bank, because they are providing a lesser interest rate. Okay, so this is the fixed deposit. You are keeping aside a certain fixed amount of money for a fixed interest rate for a fixed period of time. You need to remember the 3 F's: fixed amount, fixed interest rate, and fixed time period. Premature withdrawal is allowed by certain banks, but they will offer the less interest rate. Okay, so this is all the details about the fixed deposit. Now we'll move on to the next type of deposit or next type of account, which is recurring deposit. So guys, it is almost similar with the fixed deposit, but there are some conceptual differences between fixed and deposit, or fixed and recurring. As the word recurring, there was the term fixed, here is a term recurring. That means the payment that you need to pay will reoccur. It may be on the monthly basis, it may be on the yearly basis. So rather than going for a lump sum money of 10,000, what will you do? In the FD, you are keeping 10,000 for a 10-year. In the recurring deposit, you need to suppose pay 1,000 per year for 10 years. So this is the point of difference between an FD and an RD. Even you can, if you want to keep it on a monthly basis, you can do so. You can further reduce this payment and pay on a monthly basis. Okay, in the FD, what you are doing? You are paying it at a one time or keeping a lump sum amount separately. Whereas in the RD, you are paying on a recurring basis. So this is the point of difference between FD and RD. Then most of the features are guys same, but there are still some differences. So let us see what are those differences. So first point of difference is of maturity period. FD has a maturity of 7 days to 10 years, whereas RD has a maturity between 6 months to 10 years. So this is one point of difference. Then again, the point of difference is same. Like in the FD, you need to maintain lump sum deposit, whereas in the RD, you can pay the recurring amount. Now guys, there are certain advantages for both of these, FD and RD. Especially in the FD, there is a special category of tax saver FD, in which you can get benefit of up to 1.5 lakh of tax exemption under Income Tax Act Section 80C. So this is a special type of FD account in which you can get a tax exemption, okay, or you can show it as a saving. Then the another benefit of having an FD and RD is that you can get a loan. The loan amount depends on the loan to value ratio of that time. Suppose it is coming at 70%. So if you are having an amount of 1 lakh in your FD or RD, 1 lakh in your FD or RD, so you can get a loan of 70,000 because the loan to value ratio at that time is 70%. Okay, it varies from time to time as well as from bank to bank, but basically the thing is you can get a loan facility as well. It also depends on the bank guys if they want to provide it or not. Okay, this is not a fixed criteria, but I am saying that it is another advantage that most of the banks are providing this facility of availing loan by giving collateral as your FD or RD. Okay, so guys, these are the two types of fixed deposit and recurring deposit. We have discussed these two in details. So guys, the types of accounts that we have discussed are basically for the citizens of India. Now, if there is any facilities for NRIs or the peoples of Indian origin, for them there is a special class of accounts and which is known as NRI accounts. Okay, now these NRI accounts are further classified into two types, which are NRE accounts and NRO accounts. So guys, let's start with what this NRE accounts. I already explained that these facilities are only for NRIs as well as persons of Indian origin. You might be know of NRI but might not be knowing of persons of Indian origin. So let me explain it in very simple terms that these are the people who are residing outside the India but they belongs to India, that their grandfathers or great grandfathers are born in India. Okay, so these are known as persons of Indian origin. They might be settled in England, USA or somewhere else, but because their great grandfathers were born in India, so they are known as persons of Indian origin. Okay, so these facilities of NRI accounts is basically for NRI and the PIOs. And then the two types of accounts are NRE and NRO. So let's start with NRE first. Non-resident external. This is important guys, external, because that will help you differentiate between NRO and NRE, because in the exam question will come that what is the NRE account and what is NRO account, and there might be some confusion that will came up in your mind. So to avoid that, please remember external word, and this will help you understand what is NRE account. So guys, NRE accounts allows you to transfer your foreign earnings easily to India. So if an NRI is working in USA earning in some dollars, he can have an NRE account in India and he can make the transfers very easily. Okay, so this account is basically for getting your foreign earnings and transferring it to India. And guys, this type of account is a rupee dominated and can be in the form of current saving, fixed and recurring deposit. So already we have discussed current saving, recurring and FD. Okay, now there is an important point regarding NRE. No tax is levied on the interest earned from these accounts. So why would the government will do that? If someone is having an account and earning an interest, so why the government is not charging an interest or not charging a tax on that account? There is one important thing here is because you are earning in dollars, keeping it in rupees. So this will help the Indian government to get the foreign exchange. Okay, and that's why NRE account is freely repatriable, means conversion of your foreign currency into your home currency. Okay, suppose you are earning from dollars, so conversion into rupees is free. So this is the advantage, because these type of accounts will help the banks or the in country to get the foreign exchange. Okay, that's why these accounts are not taxable, as well as the repatriable, they are freely repatriable. Okay, so guys, this is non-resident external accounts. In external, basically where you keep your foreign earnings. Okay, you are working in USA, earning in dollars, so you are transferring that money into India, okay, through NRE accounts. Now moving on to the next, which is NRO accounts. NRO accounts, what do you mean by NRO? So guys, if you are working in USA and you are earning from India as well, so for those type of NRIs, we are having an NRO account. The non-resident ordinary accounts are primarily open for deposits earned in India. There were NRE means external, so they were earning in some foreign earnings or some dollars and all those, but here you are earning in Indian rupees. Then foreign earning can also be deposited into your this type of account, but there is a small catch here. In there you are earning in dollars and converting into rupees, but in here you are earning in rupees and maybe in some foreign currency, but here there is a small catch, and which is quite important for your exam point of view as well. NRO account has restricted repatriability. That means conversion of your foreign earning to Indian rupee is limited. Basically this account is for your Indian earning, so it will be, you will be transferring from, suppose permitted remittance allowed from NRO is up to USD 1 million per year. Okay, so if you are transferring your earning from India to somewhere else, so this is the maximum amount that you can transfer. Because guys, in here what you are doing, you are keeping your Indian rupee and transferring that into the foreign currency. So here repatriability is difficult because Indian government will lose the foreign exchange. So that's why there is a limit. Up to a limit repatriability is acceptable. Beyond that they will make some charges. So please remember this, USD 1 million per financial year. Question can be asked on this particular fact. So guys, we have discussed about NRE, where you keep your earnings, foreign earnings in an account, and NRO where you keep your Indian earnings. Okay, then we have discussed the point of difference as well as in terms of repatriability, that is conversion of one currency to other. Okay, and guys, now we'll move on to the last classification of our NRI account, which is FCNR, foreign currency non-resident account. Sorry. So what this account is basically a fixed deposit. So we know that there is a I actually understand the meaning of fixed deposit. So we will directly come to what this FCNR is. Okay, in this type of fixed deposit, what will you do? You will keep your deposit in the foreign currency only. Okay, suppose you are earning in dollars, so you will keep that in dollars. Okay, then when you are keeping your foreign earnings in foreign currency, so that will bring the foreign exchange for the India. So guys, remember, it will be not taxable. No tax will be applied on it. Then most of the things are remain same, that it will be for the NRIs and the PIOs. And guys, what about the transfer of funds? It will be again fully repatriable. We have already discussed this under NRE. And this is basically an NRE of fixed deposit. Okay, so there is not much to discuss now. So guys, what we have done, we have discussed today the meaning of bank account, then the different types of bank account, starting from current account, saving account, salary account, then fixed deposit, recurring deposit, and the three types of NRI accounts: NRE, NRO, and FCNR. So guys, this is all about the types of banking account. So guys, if you have liked our video, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it with your friends, and do give a thumbs up. For now, I'm your mentor Veer, signing off.